Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I know, I'm horrible. I should really post more, right? I know. I've been getting nasty IMs from people like, when are you going to do your next episode? So, I don't know. I didn't even know people were listening to this stuff. So, hello. Happy New Year. It is freezing here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I hope wherever you are that you don't have to wear 52 layers of clothing and look like you live in the middle of Alaska or feel like you live in the middle of Alaska. Oh, it's so cold. So the last time we spoke, the holidays were coming and it became the downtime of piping season. So I know this gets caught in my hair all the time and in my clothes. Who knows? So I thought I'd spend this episode talking about what do we actually do during downtime when we're coming back to pipes or for learning pipes. If you start learning bagpipes during the off season, it's a little discouraging because, all of the bands kind of take off for the month of December into early January, because, holiday parties and whatever. So, so pipe bands aren't kind of up and running. And then it's like it comes back in a bang because we have to get ready for the March season. And if you're new to bagpipes, you know that you'll learn that March is sort of like the holy season of the bagpipe world because, we're asked to do a lot of different events around the St. Patrick's Day holiday. So, January, February, they're cold here in the Northeast, but in other places where it's warm, I suppose they don't have that same problem of cancellations from ice and snow. And I live on a mountain, so pipe practices for Mondays and Thursdays are both pretty far for me. And I won't go over the mountain if the weather is crappy. So, old fart right here. Never thought it would happen, but it's happened. So what do we do during off time? So what I've been doing, in addition to learning new tunes, because as I've told you before, I love to learn new tunes, having finally mastered Pocket Bell Canon in D. Well, I wouldn't say mastered. That would be a stretch of the imagination, but I got it down pretty solid. I still have to play it with music, though, because it's long. Santa did bring me a music stand, though, so I usually stand on my porch and play, and I have these really high wrought iron, like bar chairs out there that I use, but it's really cold outside, so I've been playing inside, much to the cats' disappointment. They would really like for me to go back outside, as I think the neighbors who have a small infant child would like for me to go back outside as well. But I've been playing, I've been working with my chanter a lot, and I've been working on some bad habits that I collected when I was younger. And one of them is one that I never really realized I was doing until my brother pointed it out. And so, if you're new to pipes, you know that you play them like this. You don't play them like this, right? So unlike other like woodwind instruments like the clarinet, you're not using your finger pads, you're using this part of your finger, right? So because I have tiny hands, somehow over the years I've sort of moved my hands this way. And so I've been working on just keeping them straight. And then the other thing is when I play, if I do like if I'm playing like this, Matt Willis calls it the hungry, hungry hippo of piping. So I've been working on keeping my hands a little bit lower so that I can hit those grace notes a little bit faster. So I've been, trying to keep my fingers low instead of, the hungry, hungry hippo. And so that's, so there are just some technique things that I'm working on, in addition to learning some new tunes, in hopes of the pandemic going away and there actually being piping competitions this year. Who knows what's going to happen. But I've been learning, sort of really trying to learn the tunes that I play with both bands, trying to learn those and have them down solid so that I can, for Celtic United, I can play seconds. So some people play seconds but never learn the firsts, and I think that's a disaster, at least for me, because I need to know what the song is or the tune is going to sound like before I put the seconds in. So that's a big help with Matt, is that, I can do that together and I can work on sort of problem areas. One song or one tune, I know, in piping we call them tunes, in music you call them songs. Whatever. You can fire me. deduct my pay. So one of the tunes that's the hardest to play seconds on, which I never realized, was Highland Cathedral, because I never played seconds on it. I always played the melody, and it's a great, second tune, but it is a little hard, like with timing and everything. And everybody plays Highland Cathedral differently. I think every band I've played it in, it plays it slightly differently. So so that's been a fun treat. And then I've been learning some. I tend to be a person who, my son told me that I like emo music. Whatever. I'm a boomer apparently too, and there's all kinds of names he applies to me. So I do tend to like slower music, emotional pipe music. I don't know, like I'm, I think every piper's over Amazing Grace, but I do, like to draw out some tunes slower if I'm doing the arrangement. Like I rearranged Crags of Tumbledown Mountain to be slower. I just like slower tunes. I like to hold long notes and things like that. So because I know that I tend to go that way, I've been trying to learn some faster stuff like Black Bear, which I knew years ago, or at least part of it, Itchy Fingers, and playing it correctly, because that's a fast song and it's ripe for error. And same with Black Bear. A lot of people mess it up, and then it doesn't sound good when you play it in a group because it gets all like, muddled, and who wants a muddled fun song? So I've been trying to challenge myself with some more jigs and reels and things like that to spice up my repertoire. And pretty much I look through a lot of different music that's come my way that people have sent me that they liked. And please, if you want to, please send me a tune you'd like me to learn. On the Grace Note front, I'm getting stronger. I'm much better able to read the music now than I ever was in 1990. And so I know now when I'm missing a Grace Note. And so it's hard, though, to go back to a tune like Scotland, because it's such a muscle memory tune. It's such a muscle memory tune. Say that really fast. Wow. That's hard to say. And so I'm really trying to get rid of extra Grace Notes that I added in, and also add in Grace Notes that I've been missing all these years. That was a tune that I learned when I was at Liberty, Piper to Piper. So I learned whomever taught me that person's bad habits. So it's hard to go back to old tunes, and especially the standards, right? Rowan Tree, Wings, things that every pipe band plays, and really look at them with fresh eyes and, really try to correct some of those bad things that happened. So I'm working on that too. And that is really what you do during downtime. I've been working on maintaining my pipes and just going through and making sure all the stocks are tight, because I don't think they're that tight, and I was losing air. I'm still getting used to the zippered bag. I know I'm coming on a year in March of my anniversary of returning to pipes, and I still miss the leather bag. Gotta say, that thing was tight as a drum, and the zipper bag I'm sure is tight as a drum, and it's probably the stocks that is where I'm losing some air. I find them impossible to strike up quickly. I've gotten a lot better at it, but I feel like I'm playing catch up. Once they're blown up, I'm fine. Like once they are up and the bag is filled, then I'm fine, and I can play for 45 minutes without stopping. But it's just getting it up, like in that quick time that you have to get it up. I have to constantly breathe air into them for, marching or whatever. I can't ever let it deflate, because then I can't get it back up fast enough. So if you have any tips on how to work with the zipper bag, let me know in the comments below. So that's what I'm doing in my downtime. It's hard not being able to play outside because, I'm a wanderer too. So I like to wander around my yard and like wander up and down the porch. And I have very limited space where I can do that in my house without really annoying the natives in the house. So let's see. I think that's pretty much it. I'm getting ready for March. I have a really busy March. Pretty much every weekend in March, at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've got something. I've been playing some. I think the saddest events that I play for aren't funerals, although funerals are very sad. Um, I always like when they want the piper in the distance, because, I just want to cry. When it doesn't, I don't even know the person, but I still want to cry. Because I'm watching people cry about the person, right? So I always like when they have me stand off in the distance, and then I can, not see anybody too closely. But I think a sadder gig that I have, and I've had a few of these this past month, um, and that's to play for people who are dying, who want to hear what you're going to play for them at their funeral. They want to hear it before they go. And, ugh, and it's so sad. Like, that to me is probably the saddest thing that I do as a piper. And people have special requests, always Amazing Grace, always. And then Danny Boy, Flowers of the Forest, stuff like that, So I had to brush up because I didn't actually know Danny Boy. I know, don't tell. I have to learn it now because I'm in an Irish band, so got to learn it. But when I was in my just purely Scottish bands, we didn't need to know it. So I've been working on those tunes as well, and just committing them to memory. And, I think about how far I've come since last March, and thinking that I was never going to play again to, now I probably know about 60 different tunes between the two bands. And it's a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope you're having a great new year. I hope that you're using your downtime, your off season, to work on some cool new tunes or working on technique. And I will probably catch you in February sometime to talk about, I don't know, something amazing, and maybe even play some tunes with you. So be well. Peace out. Take care.